The Prime Minister faces a third by-election after another close ally of Boris Johnson resigns with immediate effect. Nigel Adams becomes the latest MP to depart from the government's benches after the former PM spectacularly quits.
The Tory party is at war with itself and Rishi Sunak is not in control of his party. And this is Boris Johnson supporters in Parliament showing Rishi Sunak that they mean business.
Also tonight, Britain bakes in 30-degree temperatures for the first time this year. Blue moon rising, Manchester City on the brink of glory ahead of the Champions League final. And miracle in the jungle, the children who survived 40 days alone in the rainforest after an Amazon plane crash.
This is ITV News with Gamal Fahnbulleh.
Good evening. The political fallout from Boris Johnson's dramatic resignation from the Commons last night has today caused yet more turmoil for the current Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak now faces a third by-election after another close ally of Mr Johnson, Nigel Adams, suddenly resigned today with immediate effect. It's prompted Labour to accuse the Conservative Party of being at war with itself, a situation that they will expect to benefit them in all of the upcoming elections. Our political correspondent, Harry Horton, has the latest.
Nigel Adams followed Boris Johnson into Downing Street as one of his most loyal MPs. Now he's following him out of Parliament, piling more pressure on the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. It means a third by-election, this time in the usually safe Conservative North Yorkshire seat of Selby. In Boris Johnson's former seat of Uxbridge and South Ruislip, voters were still coming to terms with his decision to quit.
I'm sad in a way, because he was a character.
They stabbed him right on the back.
If you're going to have people representing you that are, supposed to be like good and proper, he has shown that he's not good and proper throughout.
It's wrong that people in Westminster take our votes away from us and just elect somebody that they want. It's all wrong. We elected Boris Johnson. He should still be there as our Prime Minister and our MP.
Hope you have a Labour MP.
The campaign to replace him has already begun. Labour hope to overturn the Conservatives' 7,000 majority here.
The Tory party is at war with itself and Rishi Sunak is not in control of his party. We all know that there is much more discontent on the Tory backbenches towards Rishi Sunak and whatever mild truce they had over the last few weeks is clearly well and truly over. And this is Boris Johnson supporters in Parliament showing Rishi Sunak that they mean business.
Opposition parties also started their campaigns in mid-Bedfordshire, where the former MP appeared relaxed about the chaos she's caused.
I'm going now, so there's no point hanging around today.
Ministers weren't keen to speculate on why Boris Johnson has quit.
I'm not going to second guess why the former Prime Minister took the decision when he took that decision. I haven't seen the Privileges Committee report. Indeed, very few people have. His decision was purely a matter for him. Our focus is not on that. Our focus is on delivering for this country. That's where Rishi Sunak's mindset is.
Rishi Sunak now faces 3 unwanted by-elections and a party threatening to reopen deep divisions he thought he'd healed.
And Harry is with me now. So quite the 24 hours. Is this it, or any more Johnson allies likely to quit?
It's hard to say. It's been very hard to predict. I don't think Downing Street knows if any more MPs are due to quit. All of the MPs who have quit so far have been ultra-loyal Boris Johnson supporters. Now, there aren't too many more of those in Parliament, so we don't suspect there's going to be any more resignations, but it may well happen. Nigel Adams, the latest MP to announce he's standing down today, he served in Boris Johnson's cabinet. He didn't say why he was standing down this afternoon, but clearly these resignations are coordinated and they are an attempt to try and destabilise Rishi Sunak. And look, it does cause him considerable headaches. He is now facing 3 by-elections this summer, fending off challenges from both Labour and the Liberal Democrats, and he's trying to ensure that his party doesn't return to the infighting that we saw last summer. Now, some MPs are angry at Boris Johnson and the criticism he's levelled at the Privileges Committee, so, there's plenty of support, I think, still for Rishi Sunak. But look, no doubt about it, this is not how he envisaged spending his summer, and he'll be pretty worried about the events over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, fascinating and intriguing. OK, Harry, thank you. UK temperatures have officially reached 30 degrees Celsius for the first time this year. The Met Office says the milestone was recorded at several locations in the southeast. The warm weather brought people outside all over the country, but at the same time, the first heat health alert warnings of the year are in place. Vincent McAviney reports.
After weeks of unseasonably cold and wet weather, this weekend has seen the warmest temperatures of the year so far, reaching over 30 degrees centigrade in parts of London and the southeast of England. Down on the southwest coast, it's a little cooler, but people here on Bournemouth Beach were making the most of it.
Yes, this is the start of the summer, so fingers crossed, it'll be amazing. So far so good. Today it's been amazing.
2 or 3 days already coming to Bournemouth, but now it's first time this year, so yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's lovely, and to come to the sea and maybe swim in the sea. That hasn't happened yet, but it might.
But around the country, the conditions have caused problems. In Wales, there have been wildfires. In Scotland, Loch Ness has dropped to its lowest level in 32 years. And in London, at least 3 service personnel appeared to faint during the Colonel's review at Horse Guards Parade, with Prince William acknowledging the difficult conditions. With hot weather alerts in place across England until Monday, the UK Health Security Agency is advising people to take care.
Unfortunately, we do see an increased impact on health and social care. We see increased hospital admissions. These are the vast majority of these are preventable by taking simple measures to cool ourselves and to remain hydrated.
In particular, people are being asked to be on the lookout for the elderly. So what's your advice for people with elderly relatives or neighbours this weekend to help look out for them?
Keep them indoors where you can. If they are accessing the local community, to make sure they've got sun cream on, it's protecting them. They're wearing loose clothing, they're given regular fluids.
Many will be hoping that with the longest day of the year next week, this is finally the start of the proper summer weather. Well, Bournemouth Beach has been packed today with people enjoying the sunshine, having a dip in the sea and an ice cream to keep cool. And I can smell a lot of barbecue food right now, so people very much enjoying it. This good weather is meant to last tomorrow, but that build-up of heat has meant that there are some storm warnings in place for parts of the country. Significant downpours are expected, which authorities say could lead to flash flooding. So the advice is to check your local weather forecast tomorrow before you head out to enjoy it.
Vincent in Bournemouth, thank you. In other news today, a 16-year-old boy has been charged following a violent assault at a private school in Devon. The boy, who can't be named because of his age, faces 2 counts of attempted murder. 2 teenage boys remain in hospital, with one in a critical condition. An adult was treated and released following the attack at Blundell School in Tiverton yesterday. Sussex police are investigating around 40 deaths at a hospital in Brighton. Detectives are looking into allegations of medical negligence at the Royal Sussex County Hospital over a 5-year period ending in 2020. And French officials say a British girl who was one of 4 children hurt in a knife attack in the French Alps is expected to be able to leave hospital soon. The 31-year-old suspect has been given a preliminary charge of attempted murder. Now, the wait is nearly over for tens of thousands of nervous and excited Manchester City fans. In just over an hour, their team will try to make history by adding the Champions League title to their Premier League and FA Cup trophies. The only problem is that Italy's formidable Inter Milan are standing in their way. Our sports editor, Steve Scott, reports from Istanbul on the build-up to the match.
They might be the underdogs tonight, but the Italians are certainly edging the singing contest. And Inter will not lack numbers or passion from the stands either.
I think it's possible. Very, very difficult, but possible.
City supporters have been in full voice too, dreaming of a place in history, yet fearing another Champions League disappointment.
Nervous, very nervous, but it's a big occasion. It's just massive for the club, really. How would I feel if we win? Yeah. I'll just be crying. I'll be crying, but there'll be a lot of tears, yeah.
The treble's obviously an icing on the cake, but for me it's just this one trophy, that's it.
Last night, Pep Guardiola's squad were getting accustomed to the place where lifelong memories will be carved out. The only unknown, will they be memories to cherish or to banish?
I think we have to understand not to get too nervous too quickly, and maybe there won't be a lot of chances in the beginning, but we have to try and play the way that we do.
We love the pressure since a long time. The pressure's been on and we love it. The pressure in the right measure will make you run faster, will make you jump higher, will make you be more focused, and in the end that's what these kind of games need.
Internazionale have a lust for defending. They won't mind being starved of the ball and will relish trying to suffocate City's substantial attacking threats. For City, tonight either ends in greatness or heartache. There is no middle ground. Given the stakes, whether inside the stadium or at home, fans are in for the ride of their lives.
So, Steve, incredible excitement over in Istanbul, but what's your opinion? Can City go on and win and make history?
Well, yes, they can, but of course, in such a big one-off game, you know that anything can happen. Remember, City were in the final 2 years ago. They were favourites against Chelsea, and they ended up losing. I think they're a different team this time round, though. I think they're better equipped to deal with this evening. Inter Milan won't mind playing them, though. I think it will suit their style. I expect a very cagey game, especially at the start, and as always, the first goal will be crucial. But I don't honestly think that Manchester City will ever have a better chance of winning a Champions League final than they do tonight.
Steve Scott in Istanbul, thank you. And finally, a remarkable story of survival against all the odds. At the beginning of last month, a plane crashed in the Amazon rainforest, killing both pilots and one passenger, a mother. But her 4 children survived the crash, the oldest 13 and the youngest just a baby. Now, almost 6 weeks on, they've been found, malnourished but alive. Tonight, they've been airlifted out of the Colombian jungle to the capital, Bogota, for treatment, to be reunited with their grandmother. Sally Bidov has their incredible story.
Airlifted out of the Amazon. It could be the storyline to a Hollywood blockbuster, but this is real life in Colombia. Siblings aged 13, 9, 4 and just 11 months found alive after 40 days alone in the jungle. An incredible story of survival and one that has gripped the country. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro said that they had been taken care of by the jungle, calling their survival a gift to his nation, one that would become history. The children were travelling in this light aircraft when it crashed deep in the rainforest. The pilot, co-pilot and their mother were all killed. Their bodies found in the wreckage, but no trace of the children. A massive search began involving local people, the army and special forces. Some signs of life were found, like a baby's bottle, a pair of shoes, some clothing, even a child's footprint. The children's father joined the search and said, "I'm not doing well. It's a hard blow. I do, though, have a lot of faith that I will be with my family, my children again, which is the most important thing." And he was right. From an indigenous community, it's believed the eldest had some knowledge about how to live off the land and to look out for predators such as snakes and jaguars. Apart from being malnourished and covered in mosquito bites, they were found well. Relieved, their grandmother said, "I am very grateful, and to Mother Earth as well, that they survived and were set free." Her amplified voice had been played in the jungle, urging the children to stay put while help came. Now safely returned to Bogota for hospital treatment, their rescue was far from guaranteed. But a nation hoped and believed in the siblings' instinct to survive. Sally Bidolph, ITV News.
Truly, truly remarkable. And that is it. I'll be back with all the latest developments at 10 o'clock. But for now, I do hope you enjoy what is left of your evening. Bye for now. Bye.
Everywhere will be lovely and warm today. You might even be tempted to go for a dip. Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello again, very good evening to you. A thunderstorm warning is in force across large parts of the UK as we move ahead to this evening and overnight. It expires as we move into the early hours of Sunday, but we do still have the risk of showers around again, some of which could be fairly thundery, and that risk is mostly across Scotland. Elsewhere, it's a quiet picture, I think, but it is going to be a hot and humid, rather sticky night for sleeping for many. As we look ahead to the start of Sunday, those showers further north take their time to peel away as we move throughout the morning. Lots of sunshine around, but again, not entirely out of the woods. We do have a very broad thunderstorm warning across the UK. Those showers are going to be just forming in situ, so very hit and miss. Very good chance that you'll get away with a dry and sunny day, but where those showers do hit, those thunderstorms, you're definitely going to know about them. They're going to be very heavy indeed, fairly noisy. It is going to be warm again tomorrow. That's it. See you later.
Heinz Seriously Good Mayonnaise sponsors ITV National Weather.